Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome to round 6 of the North American Grand Prix GT2 Championship. Very happy to be back here after a week off due to the Thanksgiving holiday here in the States. So very happy to be back on track here and broadcasting for you guys here tonight. Once again, as always, I'm joined by my partner here in the broadcast booth, Brad Maris. Brad, welcome.
Yeah, partner in crime, Al. Good to be here as always. Really looking forward to this Paul Ricard race here tonight. Interesting track we have tonight. Not so much the super technical track, but some really tricky parts on it. Potentially low downforce, high-speed track. Should be a lot of fun here tonight.
Incredibly fast track. Huge straights. The first part of this track looks like it's got some few kinks to it, but much of it's pretty flat out, and then that monster straight in the back, probably the longest straight we're going to see all season here in GT2.
Yeah, indeed. You know, a lot of these cars are going to be tested right to the maximum of their allowable gears. In fact, some guys won't even be able to get to their maximum speed. They're going to be short on gear here tonight, and so that's going to be a factor for some of these guys.
I also should mention some different names up at the top of the time sheets here in practice. Simon Goodwin and John Houston both showing great pace, as is Christian Hamilton. So, you know what, we could see some surprises here tonight if things keep going the way they are.
Yeah, a definite possibility. It's hard to say if the Cider Racing Simon Goodwin teammates there are on a qualifying pace or on a race pace. Sorry about that. Got a little bit flustered, but in any event, they're looking strong, and hopefully that is a race pace. It'd be nice to see those Lamborghinis up to speed, but the Lamborghinis will be good here anyway. Great speed, great downforce, good combination, good mix for this track.
Well, why don't we give everybody here a rundown of the track layout here at Paul Ricard, give everybody a first-hand glimpse. Going on board with John Solberger and the Ford GT here at Paul Ricard.
Yeah, again, an interesting track. You know, it has some bumps here that can catch some of these guys out, particularly headed into this extremely fast first chicane. Got a few bumpy sections. You got to try to keep the car definitely on the track. Oh, I see we're past that already, Al, as my feed is a little slow here. So entering turn 3 basically now. Couple little right-left corners here. Very slippery track. You know, it's extremely difficult to keep the front end in line. Some of these guys will be running a one splitter on this track. That's going to hurt their downforce as well. So coming onto the big long main straight here, you know, some guys are just not going to have enough gear to maximize their speed here. Big hump right in the middle of this sucker as well. It's going to slow their maximum speed down as well. A lot of guys will be using quite a few packers, a lot of ride height here for this type of section. Really high speed right hand corner coming up, and really tricky to get the entrance just right on this. Actually the exit closes up a little bit more than you might think, so tricky one there. And here we come to some really difficult descending radius corners. Almost all of these corners, a lot of speed on entry. You've got to pedal it down, braking, working the brake, trying to get the maximum speed there. No different here on this left-hander. Long corners, but at the same time, you have to really try to maximize your speed off the short straights you do get through this section, and just a deadly slow left-hand corner here. Boom, an ultimate corner coming onto the final corner. Real slow right-hand corner. A lot of guys will be using first gear for this corner here. Not much traction there on exit on that corner. The rear end always wants to flick around on. And you know, it's a relatively long track for all that. There aren't too many corners on this sucker. So look at lap time somewhere in the high 48s, low 49s.
Great job, Brad. Well, while we got a few minutes here, I want to just bring everybody watching out there, let everybody know that the live timing is available for tonight's race. If you just simply go to NorthAmericanGP.com, click on the GT2 live timing, here at the top. And that'll give you a complete rundown of tonight's racing action, including lap times, gaps, positions, and conditions. So follow your favorite driver on track.
Yeah, always a great resource. And when we like to watch ourselves.
Yeah, so follow your favorite driver on track as the sessions progress here. We have visited this track in the past, one time previously, back in July 27th of 2009. So it's been quite a bit of time since we last came here, as Alex White is seeing all the track. But we last visited this track back in July 09. Aaron Parsons went on to win that one. Actually, himself and his brother Chris Parsons finished 1-2 in the Viper competition coupes. Surprise there that they picked that car that season, knowing that this track would be pretty much lights out. It was the Parson brothers finishing 1-2, a full minute 12 seconds ahead of the third place driver, Stephen Trout. So, no Vipers here tonight. However, the Fords are very quick, the Astons as well, the Ford GTs I should say, and the Lamborghinis. So we'll have to just wait and see how things turn out here tonight. We'll be moving over to quali just momentarily here.
Yeah, well, we wait for that, Al. You know, I'll mention as well that overall speed is a big bonus to have around this track. It's never going to hurt you, as always. However, there are some very tricky spots on this track, and it's not going to be too difficult for some of these guys to push a little over the edge. There is a pretty high probability of getting some cut warnings if you take too much advantage of the curbs, particularly if you go wide on this track, and there's a few high-speed sections where it's a definite possibility. So these guys will have to keep those ponies reined in a little bit if they expect to stay real consistent on their lap.
I should mention our quali time here back when we last raced was a 48.8. We are already seeing guys in the 48s now in practice, so suspect quali pace to be around the 47s, and race pace should it stay dry in the mid to high 48s.
Yeah, certainly for the faster guys. You know, there's kind of what we've been seeing in the week of practice here is kind of a select group of guys really getting into those 48s. Quite a few more guys there in the 49s. There will be a whole pack of cars there actually in the 1 minute 50 range. So the power cars, like we say, do have a big advantage here, but that's not the end of the whole story. They're going to have to really mind their P's and Q's on this really difficult track here.
So let's take a look at the point standings as they lie right now. In GT2 drivers standings currently, Chris Moses leading the way. Very tight drivers championship, 1 through 5. Chris Moses in front with 78. Alex White just a point behind with 77 points. David Poole sits third with 75. Aaron Parsons, after his win a couple weeks ago, in fourth now with 73, and Andres Prieto, even though he missed a race last week, 2 weeks ago I should say, he is still in the hunt with 66 points, and he's back here tonight.
Yeah, Andres Prieto actually had a share of that lead before he had to miss a race, unfortunately. It's interesting you mentioned our points leader there, Chris Moses, as we switch over to qualifying here real quickly. Chris Moses has been kind of looking a little off the pace here in this week of practice, so he's not been real happy with the car and his relative lack of pace to the field, but in any event, Chris is a gamer. He generally will show up for the race in any event, so we'll see. Going to keep an eyeball on him tonight, see where he finishes up.
Well, Alex White, unfortunately for him, over at Donington a couple weeks ago, really was took control of that race early until the rains came down, and you know, that threw a serious wrench into most everybody's plans. Aaron Parsons benefiting the most out of that situation, ended up winning the race. But Alex White at one point had a 30-second lead over Parsons, who was running in second for much of the race. But needless to say, Parsons, no complaints from his side of the from his camp, and ends up taking his first GT2 win of the season.
Yeah, really exciting race there in the damp as we start to get on our hot laps here. I'll just mention also that the bright spot for Alex White is that that Aston and he had not looked particularly good in the wet last week. However, we saw when it did start to rain around those pit stops, his pace held pretty good. He had a little bit of trouble, but still had pretty good pace in the wet. So perhaps he's starting to deal with those wet conditions and that Aston a little bit better.
Conditions right now: 85-degree track temp, 68-degree ambient. Chance of rain here is relatively low. I'm sure the guys will be happy to hear that, as the last two races have been pretty chaotic, to say the least, in terms of the weather. Because Thruxton, we had heavy downpours, and Donington turned into heavy downpours late in the race. So these guys I'm sure are hoping for a dry one here tonight.
I'll tell you the truth, Al.
I'll
tell you the truth. I think we could use a break from the monsoon as well.
So Aaron Parsons starting his hot lap as we ride along with him on board. And it just sounds like the Lamborghini is about to burst by the time they get to the end of that straight.
Well, it might be. I'm sure that Aaron is maximizing every single rev available to him for this qualifying session. Won't be in the race, of course, but he'll push it as much as he can. And Aaron Parsons is going to have good pace here tonight. It's hard to say if he's going to be able to match Alex White all the way down the line, but in any event, he'll be a strong contender.
I should mention Parsons is carrying winner's weight, so that could slow him down slightly. Parson moves to provisional pole with a 48.5.
Yeah, just taking a single lap there is Aaron, so not giving two laps on those two-timed laps on those tires for warm-ups, but apparently that's he's going to be good with it.
Alex White appeared to be up in sector 2, but it looks like he's got some traffic up ahead. Looks like he's going to have to get out of it, as one of the BMWs is also on a hot lap.
Yeah, we've seen Alex White have great pace. You know, I've also seen him manage.
It didn't slow him down much, as he jumps the provisional pole with a 47.9. Wow. Sorry, go ahead, Brad.
No, that's fine, Al. I was thinking, you know, we should expect to see times maybe 1.5 seconds, a little bit better than that in this qualifying relative to a race pace. So, you know, there's a chance we could even see 46s, Al. I'm not going to rule it out. But mainly from one particular driver.
So White 0.004 of a second off at sector 1. Alex has definitely showed quite a bit of pace this season in that Aston Martin.
Yeah, and you know what? He's got some of the results to show for it too, but he's also got some real clunkers out there. Al Thruxton was a real heartbreaker for him, and Mazzano as well. Didn't score a lot of points out there. Generally, he's either been winning or crashing out. So we'll see what happens tonight.
Oh, he's up again, over 3/10 in Sector 2. It looks like he's on another flyer. He's got his teammate just ahead. Ooh. Oh. They're a little out of shape there over the final set of corners there on the curb. The surfboard effect, and still improves to a 47.5.
Yeah, so certainly there's at least another couple 3/10 there in that lap. Now you watch Alex White circulate around there. I'll just note that Kevin Savoie has jumped into P3, so not too surprised. Mr. Qualifying Master jumping up there.
Yeah, don't be surprised if we see Savoie throw down a demon lap to take pole. But on board with Dave Rowley now, Alex White's teammate. Bit of a lackluster season for Rowley. I'm sure his teammates hoping for his results to improve here for that team championship fight. Going to keep an eye on these teammates here to see if they implement any drafting techniques down the back of this giant straight.
You know, it can be tough to coordinate, but if you do it right, it sure can help out, particularly on a straight like that. So, it'd be interesting to see. I think everybody is actually on track at the moment, just with the exception of a couple guys, so it's busy out there.
Pick up flyer here, Jesse Caldani, looking pretty good right now in 10th spot. David Poole's teammate, 05 Motorsport. Nice to see Jesse back after he was out for a couple races there. Indeed,
Jesse is back and has out-qualified his teammate for the moment anyway, just very marginally by about 3/100ths of a second.
Improvement for Jesse. Andres Prato on a flyer, but as is Jesse, didn't give himself enough of a gap there, so he's gotten off it. John Houston currently in P5, Aaron Parsons' teammate.
Those Lambos are going to be strong runners here tonight.
T-Brock Dambam just jumped up to 3rd in the team championship, so Houston's going to want a good result here tonight as well.
Indeed they did, and what a close championship it is on that side of the order. Fully 17s, anybody can. I mean, they're right there.
Houston jumps up to P3. Wow, just behind his teammate. Following Marty Uren in the Panos. The Panos should be pretty good here. It's a pretty quick car down the straights.
You know, it is possible to lose quite a bit of time in some of these descending radius corners and losing some of that grip. And the aero's not going to hurt you too bad, but these cars that lack some of that low-speed grip are going to struggle, even if they've got good straight-line speed, and the Panos is in that category.
Looks like Marty's off the pace, so he's well off. Salem Montgomery Jr. running in the top 10 in the Ford GT.
Yeah, another one of those Fords showing good form.
So we talked about the team championship. Elite Motorsport currently leading the championship as Christian Hamilton, and now Rich Roman filling in for David Canavan has taken over that seat. the slim lead over PMR, Precision Motor Racing, Chris Moses, and Gump Douglas. They're sitting second right now with 83 points. You mentioned T-Brock Dan Bam. MRL6 is in fourth, and that's Rally, Dave Rally, and Alex White. And Team Columbia, Juan Monroy and Andres Prieto in fifth. So, very tight team championship. Ooh, Montgomery loses it. Ran a little while.
Yeah, and what a coup for...
Sorry,
I was going to say, what a coup there for that Elite Motorsports team, losing David Canavan, a GT2 prior champion, and picking up Rich Roman, a prior GT1 champion. So that strong lineup continues for Elite.
Yeah, they must have thrown Roman quite a bit of dough to jump on full time, as Roman has for quite some time now been the all-star substitute, playing the all-star substitute driver's role here in GT2 week to week. As Montgomery
certainly has enjoyed. Certainly has enjoyed some GT2 success on that switch. For a guy that I'm looking at, however, is his new teammate Christian Hamilton, a part of that Elite Motorsports team, showing great pace in practice, but currently 16th on the grid, not good enough.
David Rowley, in the meantime, has jumped up to P2. So it is an MRL6 1-2 as we speak.
That's good news for that team. You got to figure Alex White's going to have the pace on teammate David Rowley. It'd be nice for him to have some protection.
We'll see where Andres is. Not sure if he's past the second split. Nope, not yet. Andre at 8/10 off in Sector 2, so Andre looks like he could improve here from his current 6th spot. Quite surprised for a pretty long track, caught quite a bit of traffic out there.
It doesn't feel like a really long track with traffic. It's not as bad as some of the other ones we visited, but certainly on some of these slow speed corners, they're slow. So you have the big long straight. The rest of it is a pretty tight course, so that traffic will come into play if you catch him there.
So Prieto jumps up to P4. Palacio looking mighty quick in practice, currently running in P9 in the Audi. And he's turned it. Jaime Moore, currently in P10.
Yeah, nice showing there by that Porsche 997 GT3.
Jaime has had some reliability issues with that Porsche so far this season. He's lost a couple engines, a bit off in Sector 1 there. He had quite a bit of traffic up ahead of him, so probably slowed him down a bit. Checking the timing, about 11 minutes left in this session.
Yeah, we're coming down to it. I'm seeing a whole bunch of drivers with times I wouldn't have expected to see. I think there's quite a few guys that had yet to turn their best lap out there, so they're going to have to get with it.
Mikey Monahan currently in P13. See if Mikey improves. Nope, remains 13th. David Poole. Poole's carrying a little bit of weight as well here tonight, finishing 3rd. Last week, currently at P14. I'm sure you're thinking he's one of the guys you're surprised with, and he's improved to P7.
Yes, indeed he was, Al, and questions answered. And he's carrying the 22 pounds, 10 kilos. You know, that's not going to hurt him too badly.
Rich Roman now up to 8th. Chris Moses, meanwhile, points leader back at 13th.
Yeah, I just got to think that Chris Moses, I know he's really been struggling with pace here this week, and we've actually talked about it a little bit. I just don't know if he's missing the setup more than anything else. I know he's really concerned with his straight line speed. But I'm wondering if there wasn't some possible few setup tweaks he might have missed out here.
Well, Kevin Miller currently at P15 in the Jag. Kevin having a nice showing here in qualifying. Just see Galdani up currently at 16th. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, Al. It took me a second for my brain to register what you're saying. Yeah, Kevin Miller's been been in line for some great results this season. Just hasn't quite completed the deal. So maybe tonight he'll show us what he's got.
Johnny Lugnuts, P19. Figure that Z4 will lack some of that straight line speed comparison to some of these other cars.
Yes, a little bit. Actually, surprisingly, you can take a lot of wing off that car and get it up to speed pretty well, but yeah, certainly not quite the beast that some of these others are.
Simon Goodwin, P20. A little surprised to see Simon this far back. You'd think, seeing the performance of the other Lamborghini team, and Drew's pace, I believe, was pretty stout in practice.
Yeah, well, we commented wondering if those were maybe qualifying times, but yeah, those times aren't any better than the what they showed in practice, and of course there's more grip here in qualifying one, so you'd think they'd be going a little bit faster if nothing else.
Oh, Klepnauer in the gravel. Nick Johnston, wow, shocking to see him back at 23rd. Yes.
I just don't think he's had any practice at all, Al. He might have shown up, 45 minutes ago. Who knows? Just haven't seen him around at all.
Yeah, I know he mentioned on the forums that things have been pretty hectic for him, I guess, and but now it's back to normal, and should be seeing some better results from Nick. The season certainly hasn't turned out like last season was, as he was new kid on the block. Really took the GT2 series by storm last season, just nearly missing out on a championship.
Yeah, and all those possible wins, Nick almost was able to finish off. He did manage to get one of those, but could have been a lot more.
Yeah, he certainly had his opportunities, but well, we don't want to rehash old wounds, but some pit errors and some cagey pit stops by some of his competitors really really hurt Nick's chances.
Nope, don't know if you caught it, Al, but we have another driver in the 47s. You may have mentioned it already, Andre Sprit, now with the 47.9, jumps into P2. Time running out quickly here in qualifying.
And Nick does not improve, still 20th. So checking the top of the standings, you're right. Alex White with a 47.3. Andre in P2. I think somebody dropped. I'm not sure. Rally splits the Astons on the front row. Parsons Savoie jumped up to P5. Just over 5 minutes left in this session. Let's see where Parsons ends up here. Looking like a nice lap. Does not improve. Well,
yeah, at this point, if these guys dive into the pits and get out now, they're looking at only one more timed lap. Sorry, Al.
while John Houston continues in the 6th position. David Poole remains 7th. Roman up to 8th. Hamilton right behind him, P9. So Hamilton continues to show good pace here week after week.
Yeah, was lagging down there for quite a bit of this session. Finally picked up a good time.
Simon Goodwin has jumped into the top 10. So, did find it a bit unusual to see Simon that far back. Should mention we do have a couple no calls here tonight. Drew Lidgia for some contact last week. And Felipe Triana. Although he is not in the server, I believe. So he'll have to serve his penalty next week.
Yeah, when he does come back out to serve his penalty, and in Felipe's case, really deservedly so, had a bad race last week at Donington, and well deserved really in this case, those penalties. So. Alex White, meantime, has got down to that 47 flat. I'm still looking for that 46, Alex. Let's get with it.
Oh, he is on an out lap. Andres now heads out. One final blast. Everybody out now. John Houston on a hot lap. On board with John.
Well, we watched some of John's timed lap there. We'll mention Alex White is crushing the field there in Sector 2. That's where he's gaining all his time. A full half second up over everybody through that section.
That is the fastest part of the track. I take that back. Oh no, it is midway through the back straight. I missed John's split time, so. Houston looks like he's dropped down to P7. It's about a second off, a little over a second off pole lap. Let's get some near. Go ahead.
Christian has dropped down a little bit. Teammate Rich Roman has gained a little bit of time, however, to take 5th at the moment, narrowly over Kevin Sedwa and John Houston. Oh, we had a drop toward the front. It was Andres Prieto's dropped.
Once again, Andre. Same thing happened to him at Thruxton. That's a shame.
Yeah, horrible news. Hopefully he'll get a chance to get back, at least start this race. But yeah, that MRL 6 duo back on the front row for now. Tough break.
So Alex behind in Sector 1. Ooh, Alex helping his teammate there who was on a hot lap. A little too much help. This rally just gets it all wrong. Oh man.
And you know what? That could happen. Sure, you pick up that extra speed, and you want to try for even that little bit extra more, and well, there you go. That happened.
David Poole. You know what could have happened there? I think Alex was trying to help Rally get out in front of Andre, but once he saw that Andre dropped, he could have maybe just backed out of it. Who knows? But David Poole completing his lap. 1 second. That's it. Qualifying's done. Poole does not improve. Mikey Monahan. Don't think he'll have enough time to bring it back around.
No, just now on the back straight, I don't think so.
Tell you what, he had a pretty decent first sector. A little bit off in sector 2, but unfortunately for Mikey, I don't think he's going to have enough time here.
Yeah,
well,
no.
two corners to go. No. All right. Well, there you have it. Alex White with yet another pole position here. Got pole in Donington. I believe he had pole at Thruxton.
Yeah, more or less just crushed the field once again. It's not the first time we've seen it, but again, Alex's results have been either great or horrible. One of the two. By and large, they've been great, but even with all that horsepower, you still have to keep the darn thing on track and keep it smooth.
Yeah, so that was his. Tonight's his 4th pole of the season. So yeah, Masano had a poor result, had no result at Thruxton DNF, and well, there you have it. White Rally P2, great result for Rally, definitely his best qualifying of the year, and Parsons takes 3rd. Roman jumps up to 4th, and Savoy performs as usual with a P5 showing. But yeah, incredible pace of 1.2 seconds up on the rest of the field, White is. So that is just incredible. Other notables, Nick Johnson managed to jump up to P16. Houston starts 6th, so Simon Goodwin's 9th, so some new names up front.
Indeed, and the one that jumps out to me immediately is Chris Moses back there in 15th. So he wasn't lying about his struggles here over the course of the week, and he has quite a few drivers to try to get past if he expects to score a lot of points. At this point, he is in the points only by 2 positions, and this is our overall points leader for the season. So work to do tonight for Chris.
Well, no, he's actually tied now. Tied with White, who got the bonus point for pole, so championship standings are now tied. So while we got some time here, we're going to run down the penalties from last week. This is always a fun segment.
Oh yeah, it's great. Al.
So this isn't to pick on anybody. It's just something we do here to try and for everybody who watches the replay, try and hopefully they can learn from reviewing these things and listening to our comments, and hopefully prevent these mistakes in the future. So first incident here, we have Felipe Triana. He's got 3 total, so we'll start with number 1. Oh, actually, hold on 1 second. Oh no, that's right. Okay, so first incident here. We got Felipe going into turn 1, just gets into the back of the Z4 there. I believe that's Liquid Lou Mascarelli. Sending Lou into the gravel trap.
Yeah, Felipe just really trying to bite a little too much off here, I think, trying to gain a position. Actually started that slide, and I think he was thinking, well, let's just kind of go with it and try to improve our position here. Didn't quite work out.
All right, the second, well, this was actually a no penalty call here. This next one coming up between Mikey Monahan and Kurt Chandler. But we just wanted to show you guys why we did not put Mikey at fault for this one. It just he had that position there on the inside. Definitely can go too wide through this part of the track, and it looked like Kurt just squeezed him a little bit and did more harm to himself than anything.
You know, I don't think there's any question Kurt could not see Mikey coming off that first corner, as Kurt had stayed out pretty wide through there. However, you just have to assume on these opening laps that there's going to be a guy there on that lane. You just have to treat the track as two lanes, and if you're unsure if a guy's there, then just you have to give room if you don't know.
All right, this next incident is Felipe Triana once again. This was heading up the hill towards the back straight. This again getting his braking all way too late. He tried to check it up, roll the car up, but had no chance and just dumped Houston there.
Yeah, no doubt that Porsche had much better braking into that corner. However, you have to be aware of the difference in braking between some of the cars and between some of the competitors. You just have to, the onus is kind of on the guy behind in that situation. You just have to stay off the car in front.
This was Litkia's no qual penalty. Looks like he, under braking, he just got a little out of shape there, went under the grass, just rejoined there right in front of Kurt. Not sure if he saw Kurt there or not, but the result was bad for Kurt, as Kurt suffered a pretty big spin and some damage there. So,
you know, it doesn't necessarily show it on the replay, but Drew actually just really hammered it coming off that grass and right onto the apex there, right onto the racing line. Just didn't really see what was going on around him, and yeah, definitely worthy of a no qualification.
And this last incident here was going into the pit lane. Felipe Triana, I'm not sure if he was about to miss his box and wasn't sure where he was actually going to pit in, but he actually hit Christian Hamilton, who was about to exit his pit box, and well, you see the result there, spinning Christian, and Christian ultimately losing quite a bit of time there. Just, you know, some of these guys can realize some of these tracks, you do have to plan your pit stop at times, as you could be sharing pit boxes with guys, and you know, if a situation arises where you're coming in and somebody's in your box, you either wait or drive through. You don't do what you're seeing here, so you're gonna get hammered if you do that. So he got quite a bit of weight for this, no qual, and a 15-second standstill for his next race attendance. So there you have it. That's the penalty rundown. Always love doing that. But meanwhile, we are in warm-up, and while we wait for this race to go green, which will be shortly, I'm going to take a quick break. Brad, I'll be right back.
You got it, Al. So while Al is away, taking a short break, I'll give you a quick summary here of our qualifying session. It just finished up. You watched it live here on NAGP TV. Here at Paul Ricard. Alex White stole the show once again and really crushed the field here in qualifying with a 1:47 flat timed lap. Teammate David Rowley showed up and did some nice work there in second, but still a full 1.2 seconds off his teammate's pace at the front. So it'll be an MRL6 front row here tonight at Paul Ricard. A few other notes, Aaron Parsons and Rich Roman also had a very nice qualifying session. And we mentioned Chris Moses a little further back in the field here tonight. So our championship points leader will have a little bit of work to do as this race progresses, if he wants to keep close to that tied now with Alex White, excuse me, for that overall championship lead. As mentioned, this track is a very high-speed track. This first chicane in particular, very high-speed chicane with some bumps in it, can be possible to lose the front end into this chicane. Go wide on exit, and you can receive some cut penalty warnings around this track in various spots. They aren't all that difficult actually to get to, so if these guys do happen to get 3 cuts out wide or on the inside, they'll have to make a stop and go penalty, and that certainly will hurt their race. So you should expect to see actually a little bit of gap form at the front. I think there's a good 4, 5, 6 cars that will pull away, in particular, potentially, of course, Alex White with all that speed. Another group behind him, and then I think we'll see some very close action all the way through the field. There's a lot of great passing opportunities, of course, at the end of that very long straight, with actually quite a tricky entrance into the corner which follows, rather high-speed right-hand corner. So as they overtake, they'll have to be careful with that.
Well, thank you, Brad. I am back, and we are in race conditions, and it's dry. 93-degree track temp, 77-degree ambient, so it's looking good for these boys here tonight. Finally, some dry track. And with that, yeah, for now. So with that, we're going to run down the starting grid here tonight. So from pole, his 4th of the season, Alex White. Teammate David Rowley starts 2nd. Aaron Parsons 3rd. Rich Roman 4th. Kevin Savoy 5th.
John Houston will start 6th. David Poole is in 7th. Christian Hamilton starts 8th. Simon Goodwin is in 9th. And Marty Uren will take 10th.
In 11th, Salem Montgomery Jr., great showing. Mikey Monahan, 12th. Jaime Moore, 13th. 14th, Esteban Palacio. And 15th, Chris Moses.
Nick Johnston takes 16th. Kevin Miller starts 17th. Jesse Caldoni starts 18th. Curtis Chandler is in 19th. And John Solberger rounds out the top 20.
In 21st, Johnny Lugnutz, Klempnauer, 22nd. Greg Myers, 23rd. Rodrigo Triana, 24th. And Cup Douglas, 25th.
Mike Graytrek starts 26th. Kreshnik Halili starts 27th. Jared Keene starts 28th. Brian Story starts 29th. Newcomer Xander Johnston starts 30th.
Sam Rolfe, 31st. Patrick Fogel, 32nd. Liquid Lou Mascarelli, 33rd. Jack Ivey, 34th. David Balich, 35th. And to finish it off, Preto, 36th. And Drew Litkia starting from the rear. Brad, we're about to go green. Any predictions here tonight?
Alex White in a walk away. Is that going out on a limb, Al?
You are, and we're about to go green. Green flag. Like a pretty clean start as Alex White is checking off. Rowley looks like he got off to a very sluggish start and is falling back to what could be, looks like he's in 4th now, but White is already checking out as Roman is trying to hang on to this guy as he is really on fire. Oh, Jaime Moore gets into the back of Roman, and that's going to cause a bit of bottleneck here, but everybody else seems to get it. Ooh, we got some more collisions. It's more, some more trouble in the back.
You see Rich Roman having problems. Yeah, you see Rich Roman having problems. Teammate Christian Hamilton has suffered major damage, has just DNF'd out.
Hamilton is out.
Not sure what happened there, but in any event, that happened. Chris Moses also now back in the pack there in 32nd now with splitter damage. Chris Moses is, oh no, it's just heavy damage on the front of Chris Moses' BMW. No, he is missing a splitter.
Mikey Monahan out with an accident. Oh yes, his front splitter is gone and he's got a puncture, so that is some serious damage for Moses, and that is bad news for the championship. So I was going to point that out at the start of this race. It is a very quick start, and that those first few sections can be tricky, But I think that was all precipitated by Moore getting in the back of Roman.
Yeah, it certainly didn't help. There was a separate incident earlier on, a little further back in the pack. Don't know what happened exactly, but yeah, don't like to see it out. In the meantime, I have to give you a quick update. Xander Johnston somehow is now running 10th, Al.
So, newcomer Johnson in the top 10. He's got some damage to the front of that BMW. He was caught up in that incident, but other than some front end damage, ooh, as look, it looks like someone got into the back of Nick Johnson, and I think that was Jaime Moore again, as Moses hits the pit lane. Johnny Lugnut's in with damage. Chandler in the pits. Palacio. Monahan has parked it. He's done. One of the McLarens are in. And I just don't like to see this at all.
Al, this is disgraceful. I'm just going to say, I'm going to go ahead and just remove myself and completely play the broadcaster's role here. These guys should be doing better than this. I've said it.
I don't disagree with you, Brad, at all. I agree with you 100%. I mean, we've done this for how long, and I just think a lot of these guys are just driving way over their heads. A lot of these guys should know better. They're better than this, and there's no need for it. It really isn't. So it's sad, but you know, it happens sometimes, and we have some stretches in the past where we've gone, you know, quite a bit of time where we don't see this much, this much crashing going on, and you know, we pride ourselves in being a very clean league, and you know.
Yeah, well, and you know, maybe the extra week, people were really anxious to get back at it, get back on track, and certainly these things do happen. But no doubt it'll be addressed. So I've said my piece on it, Al.
Yeah, these things will definitely get looked at, and you know, if it takes guys sitting out, then that's what it's going to take. So we have nearly 40 guys starting the race here tonight. If we can, if guys gotta sit, they gotta sit. There's plenty of other guys waiting in the wings, waiting to drive, and drive cleanly. So, meanwhile, Paul up to 5th. Marty Uren running in 6th. Goodwin now running in 7th. He started pretty well. He had a shaky early qualifying, has moved up, qualified in 10th. It's now moved up to the 7th position. He's got, I believe that's Klempnauer, a lap down already, getting caught up in that accident as he lets Simon by. Houston, running P8. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, Al. I was just taking a look at timing and scoring here, even through a little diatribe there, and I noticed that Aaron Parsons has not let Alex White get away, and it occurred to me, you know, Alex White was struggling with some gearing problems and motor fatigue. I think he's going to have to back it off as Alex White over the course of this race distance.
Yeah, that is an issue we didn't bring up, is the wear on these engines, especially the Aston is notorious to be, is known to be a bit, you got to be a little sensitive, careful with that car, I should say, on tracks like this, and we can see that play a factor where Alex has to pedal it near the end here to save his motor. But meanwhile, Jesse Caldani's really applying quite a bit of pressure, running it back, giving Houston a run here.
Yeah, indeed, and Houston, of course, we know was showing great pace there, so Jesse Caldana obviously coming to grips with this Porsche, and teammate David Poole, no doubt, helping him out with it.
Solberger up to 10th. Xander Johnson's dropped down to P11. Roman about to, trying to get by that B6. That thing's no slouch down the straights. But Roman also in a car with quite a bit of pace. as Andres Prieto has moved up and looking to part the Red Sea, and he does, holy smokes, and gets by both Roman and Johnson as if they were standing still. Unbelievable. Andre, who started from the back, is now up to P11. Started 36 and within 2 or 3 laps is running in 11. That is amazing.
And another thing that's pretty impressive is to this point he's only back about 25 seconds. So even from where he started way back, he wasn't that much farther back than 25 seconds. So really has been able to hold pace with those leaders in front, coming all through all those cars. Amazing.
So Rich Roman, even though he got caught up in that wreck earlier on, is back on pace here. As looks like Johnson's struggling a little bit, but has lost a position to Rodrigo Triana. As Rodrigo now running in 13th. Brian Story, he got caught up in, actually I believe that was his teammate Miller, got caught up in that first lap incident, now up to 15th as a whole boatload of cars in the back. Wow.
Ooh, Simon Goodwin has had a problem. Simon Goodwin running up there in the 7th spot, now is falling back to 9th due to some type of lockout.
This battle from 19th, I'm sorry, 17th all the way back to like 28th is just insane. That's
they're going at it.
Just a train of cars. Jared Keane running 24th. It's one of the Beamers that spun it. Patrick Vogel 20th. Montgomery Jr. has dropped back to, well, now he's 20th. Jack Ivey running in 19th. Giving Liquid Lure on here. Oh, and he's going to make the move on him. Lou squeezing him. But Jack. Nice pass on Lou. Way to go, Jack. He's got some front end damage to that Porsche, but it looks like it's helping his straight line speed. Board with Kevin Miller.
Yeah, quick update, Andres Prieto now into the top 10 after passing John Solberger for that spot.
Take a look up front now. Alex White's lead is 3 seconds over Parsons, running in 2nd.
Yeah, something must have just happened with Aaron. I think maybe Aaron had some type of off or something. That gap has opened up a little bit.
On board with David Poole as Marty Uren and David Rowley are duking it out. David Poole not letting these guys get away. You got to give Poole some credit here. That Porsche really lacks that straight line speed. Some of these higher-end cars, higher powered cars have, but as you can see now going down the straight, as the Aston's checking out a bit, but Poole really closing the gap on some of these guys through some of the corners.
Yeah, I suspect David Poole has gone ahead and put some aero on that car, knowing that he's going to lack some of the straight line speed anyway. Might as well maximize his speed through the twisty.
Showing for Marty Uren, who's currently in 4th. Kung Fu Racing, Ian Jolicoeur not here tonight, his teammate, but won a couple team championships here in GT2. Not seeing the results they've had in previous seasons, but no doubt they'll be back in form soon enough.
Yeah, I suspect that the Panos is quite a different car than they're used to driving, and I think maybe that it's been a bit of an adjustment for him. But I think overall, Marty's got to be pretty happy with his position here in 4th. I don't think that he might have been expecting to be running quite this strong, particularly after the qualifying session we saw. But in any case, good job, good running, Marty. You're in here early.
John Houston has stretched his gap over Caldani by a couple seconds after that early pressure. Well, Caldani now Feeling the heat from Simon Goodwin, and Andres Preto is on a mission here. Let's see Andre probably pass these two guys at the end of this straight. Coming up. Andre currently in 10th as Andre, let's see him. Here he goes. About to put the move on Simon. And that Ford is just a rocket. I mean, I don't think there's anything even close to that thing down the straight.
Yeah, well, I got to think that Aston and Lambos aren't doing too bad themselves, but you're right. It's absolutely smoking a lot of these guys, and he's getting through that first chicane particularly well and able to carry that speed.
200 now, running 9th. Solberger back in 11th. Rodrigo Triana having a pretty tidy race here. Giving Rich Roman some pressure here. Roman obviously wishing he was up a few positions more, as he qualified pretty well here, but got caught up in that incident early on.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, Rich is a gamer, and unfortunately with his teammate going out, he's going to fight as hard as he can, for sure.
So Nick Johnston now into the points. Greg Myers as well, running 16th. Greg in the Audi. Ooh, Salem got on that curb and lost it a little bit. He's gonna fall back down to, well, looks like he's gonna hang on to that 19th spot. Sam Rolfe running in 20th. Jack Ivy's falling back now to 22nd. Jared Keane, his teammate, with a nice slide. Saves it. Running 23rd. Dave Balich, 24th. Got Douglas back in 25th. We got guys dropping left and right. Kreshnik Khalili back in 26th. Esteban Palacio back in 27th. That's got to be frustrating for him right now. Raytrix back at 28th. Johnny Lugnuts after pitting back at 29th. Chris Moses running P30. Already, I think he's 2 laps down at this point.
Showing him on timing and scoring as 1 lap down currently, Al.
Klepp now are back in 31st. Kurt Chandler 32nd. That's it, 32 running right now. I'll take a look at timing and scoring. Currently working lap 8.
Yeah, well, an interesting turn of events. Yeah, an interesting turn of events to start this race here. You know, it's not going to be actually too much longer now. We're going to be starting to see some pit stops cycle through. These guys will be in their window before too much longer. Alex White has just slowly started to stretch that gap over Aaron Parsons, but I suspect Aaron's still well and truly in this thing. It's going to take only the most minor bobbles from Alex in front for Aaron to slip by.
Alex White's personal best was a 48.8. Parsons 49.2. Last laps, Alex White with a 49.8 and a 49.6 for Parsons. So Parsons he's hanging on, but slowly but surely White is stretching that gap.
You know, and the last lap, timed lap for Alex White, 1:48.8, and that's starting to get pretty low. I think that might be more of a type of Alex pushing for speed a little bit, and he'll have to keep that in check. There's no need to push the issue here when you have a good lead, good gap. Just try to maintain that thing, save the tires, try to get this win.
David Poole looks
Rich
like
Roman into the pits.
Roman pits. David Poole dropped back to P6, so not sure if he had a problem. Actually, no, I think he's been at 6 there behind Marty and Rally. Marty now closing the gap up on Kevin Savoy, who's in 3rd. Savoy having a great race.
Yeah, just quietly going about his business is Kevin. Yeah, but just keeping the darn thing on track and keeping it smooth. Marty Urin is starting to eat into that gap to the 3rd place Kevin Savoy, however. Now I'm going to take a very short break. Be back in 2 minutes.
You got it. So a little mistake by Savoy that Marty's going to have a look now. Ooh, there's Kevin all over those curbs. We'll stay on board with this battle here for the 3rd spot. Marty cooks it. Yeah, that's going to cost him a little bit of time. Actually, it didn't cost him much time at all. Track temp has gone up over 100 degrees. To 102 degrees, started in the 90s, so track's heating up. Tire wear really isn't too bad here, so we shouldn't see these guys fall off the pace too much, as Kevin Savoy is really, looks like he's struggling a little bit to put the power down in that BMW. Marty trying to take advantage. As we head down the back straight, let's see if Marty can close the gap up on Savoy. Well, Marty may have a look at on the inside at the end of the straight. Well, just not close enough.
Okay, I'm back with you. Thank you.
So see Kevin again continuing to throw that BMW around. Oh, Marty having a look on the inside. Looks like Kevin's going to hang on to the spot. Oh! Looks like Savoy run a little wide, and that opened the door for Marty to get by. So Marty jumps into P3. See if Kevin can answer. Very fast part of the track.
Yeah, we saw Marty closing down that gap, and it looks like he did complete that pass.
Kevin has not faded. He's hanging on to the back of Marty's bumper. Cars are pretty equal down the straights. Big slide by Kevin. That's cost him a bit of time. Kevin trying to put the power down early to keep up, hang on to Marty, but cost him a bit there.
Yeah, he'll still enjoy a little bit of a tow. He's close enough, but certainly not going to be as much as he'd like.
Further back now, Andres Preto now up to P7. check the gap between him and David Poole. It's about 8 seconds. So I have to keep an eye on that, see if Andre chews into that lead. I suspect he will. Meanwhile, Houston and Caldani continue to go at it here. This has been a fight that's been going on since the start of this race. Houston had a bit of a lead. Houston stretched out his lead a little bit, but he might have, it looks like he might have made a mistake and Caldani caught up to him, or Caldani just found some pace, not sure. Meanwhile, Simon Goodwin also in this fight.
Yeah, Simon Goodwin lurking behind. You know, that Porsche is very good on its tires. This track is not particularly tough on tires either, so but the Porsche will still enjoy a little bit fresher rubber over the course of the stint, and I think that might be part of what you're seeing here with Caldani picking up some time on Houston.
So we're coming close to that pit window. Brad, do you suspect these Porsche guys may consider double stinting?
Well, I think so, Al. I haven't run enough laps to really prove that the tire wear, but it looked like it was pretty good from some of the recon laps I did. So, yeah, I think it's a possibility some of these guys will be thinking about that double stint.
You can really see where the Lambo has that advantage over the Porsche. But down that straight, as Caldani just can't keep up with that that straight line speed. But you wonder what?
That's an interesting mix around.
No, it is. You gotta wonder what. Well, it's evident to me that the setups between the two Lambo teams are a bit different. As looks like Simon might be running a bit more wing than that of Houston.
Yeah, you know, it really comes down to an overall aero package. I know that some of these guys are actually running a one splitter and very little rear wing. Some of these guys are going to be running a two splitter. So there is definitely a mix, and there's different ways to skin a cat around this place, all dependent on what you're comfortable with. So I think we're seeing that. And no question, John Houston is holding these guys up a little bit, though, and it should be mentioned, John Solberger is lurking behind as well to try to make this a four-way battle for that 10th spot. Excuse me, 8th spot.
You gotta wonder if that pit stop by Roman, if it was an unscheduled stop. Not sure what made him go in, but very early.
I didn't see any damage on the Sunred, so I was thinking that it was a time stop. My timing and scoring is a little wonky here, Al, so unfortunately I can't see any data past the 4th lap. I'd like to see Rich's times here after his stop, but that's just not going to happen.
Well, that battle for the last points paying position between Jaime Moore, Drew Litgio, who started in the back, is one spot out, and Lou Mascarelli running in 18th. So Lou just out of the points here, so Lou having a pretty decent showing. Oh, as Gup Douglas gets it all wrong and nearly throws it out of the track boundaries, but he is somehow back on track, and well, he's back at it.
Yeah, that's the definition of getting it wrong here, Al, and let's not forget PMR in the thick of that points chase. So that's going to hurt their chances here tonight, especially with Chris Moses and his struggle.
Yeah, a little bit of brain fade, it looks like, from Bubba Gump. Sam Rolfe back at 21st. Roman rejoins after his pit stop, currently in 22nd. O'Leary 23rd. Greatrix running 24th. And Johnson now back at 25th. Looked like Johnston has pitted for service.
Yeah, as you do your rundown there, Al, we are starting to see stops. Aaron Parsons, David Rowley, John Houston in the pit.
So we are at the halfway point. This race should go 28 laps. We are seeing guys pitting in on lap 14. The pace is a lot quicker than the last time we ran here. So suspect. Well, when we last ran here, we went 29 laps. So I think it's quick enough that we'll only go 30. I'm sorry, 28. I'm sorry, 29, because max distance is 29, so it's going to be 29 laps. So Marty takes over that second spot. Savoy has stayed out. Let's see if White decides to pit in, and he does. Pretty tricky, fast pit in, so these guys are going to want to keep an eye on their pace going into this pit lane.
Yeah, indeed they will, Al. You know, I'm looking at the timing and scoring. I can't see the lap-to-lap data. However, I can see that Andres Prieto has started to eat into that time by Alex White before he dove into the pits. So Andres Prieto is still holding serve with the front runner.
And Andre's going to stay out and assume the lead. Everybody in front of him is pitted in. Caldani, is he going to stay out? He does. Simon stays out, as does Solberg. We'll see where. Not sure if you got your eye on the pit lane, see if any of these guys decide to double stint their tires. Alex White's away. Looks like a pretty quick stop for Alex. He rejoins in P5. I'm sorry, P6.
Yeah, quick update. Kevin Savoy has gotten out of the pits in front of Marty Urin. So Kevin Savoy picking up some ground there in the pit stops, taking that position back from Marty.
Great stop by Kevin. Poole rejoins in 11th. David Poole looks like he picked up quite a bit of time on these guys. Not far off of Marty, but it looks like Poole has taken tires. David Rowley, however, lost the position to Poole. So now Rowley back at 12th.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting pit stop rotation here. We're seeing a few positions change.
Houston rejoins in 17th. Checking to see where Caldani is. Moses, meanwhile, back at 31st. Caldani now running second, pits in, so we'll see if Houston is able to get past Caldani. So Andre's electing to stay out, Brad. What are you thinking here?
Well, I'm thinking that the tires are good. They may have talked about this strategy a little bit. The fuel's good, the tires are good. If you can maintain your lap times within a certain degree, no reason not to really stay out. And it probably won't hit. Oh, here he comes. Caldani in.
Ooh, this Savoy Uran battle is really heating up, as Marty has now gotten past Kevin. Go ahead, sorry.
I was just going to say, Jesse Caldani did not take tire.
Oh, pretty ballsy move by Caldani. Let's see where he is on the timing and scoring. Oh, he still comes out behind Houston. So if he only took fuel, that was a pretty long stop.
Well, I may have missed the first part of his pit stop. Again, my timing and scoring is a little wonky. It seems to be lagging a little bit here. Not sure what's going on with that. By the time I got the indication he had pitted in, he may have been in there already for some time, so not sure. It's an unconfirmed report out.
Yeah, it looks like his stop was a 2-minute 40 compared to Houston's 2-minute 39. As Roman about to put the move on Caldani for that position. Roman. Oh, it's not gonna. Ooh. No, he couldn't do it. Caldani hangs on to it. A nice battle there. Nice job by Caldani to defend. By no means did he.
John Solberger.
By no means did he slam the door or anything on Roman. He's had the position. So nice
Nope.
job.
John Solberger, Simon Goodwin into the pits.
Montgomery Jr. has stayed out. He's currently P7. He's yet to make a stop. I'll tell you what, this battle between Savoy now taking a look on the outside. He's going to have the advantage, and he makes the move. Wow. So these guys going back and forth. Great move by, great pass by Savoy. Wow, that was very impressive. Let's see if Marty answers back though down this long straight. He's pretty tight on Savoy.
Yeah, we talked about it at the top. A lot of passing opportunities around here. This part of the track.
So all that work gives it right back.
Yeah, we saw Kevin Savoy have pretty good pace there to start that first stint. So I think maybe his speed is pretty good relative to Marty on those new tires. But we saw Marty catch him up there toward the end of that stint on when the tires wore a bit.
That's got to be frustrating for Savoy.
Andres Prieto into the pits out.
Prieto pits.
Okay, once again, he had already pitted, so sure timing and scoring. However, he has definitely double stinted as he comes out just a couple seconds behind Alex White.
Wow. He certainly has double stinted, and he has come out in front of Parsons. And the gap is now 4 seconds, 4.5 seconds. And he's got a 2-second lead over Parsons. So,
boy, sexy move, Al. You know, I think this guy had pace on the two leaders actually a little bit. Now he doesn't have to fight through David Poole, Kevin Savoy, all those other fast guys as well. Shoot, could be a good move.
And there's quite a bit of traffic up ahead. So, wow, he's doing what he needs to do to try and win this race, or at least finish well in the points, considering where he started.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it affects him here toward the end of this stint, but I'm liking it. Bold move.
I'll tell you what, I don't think Parsons is going to have, even if he closes up on Andres, the speed of that Ford down the straight is just incredible. We'll have to keep an eye on that if Parsons does close up on Andres, which it looks like he's starting to do now, if he can get by him down the back straight.
I got to think Andres' pace is going to drop off here, Al, for sure. But he might have put himself in a great position to hold on to a podium spot, maybe stay ahead of Marty and those other guys behind him, or take advantage of the mistake in front, you know.
Well, you had to know someone was going to try it.
Yeah, indeed. I think Salem Montgomery Jr. as well has taken a double stint. He is not far off of David Poole's time, unless Salem has not yet pitted. I'm not sure. Rodrigo Triana, excuse me, they're in fourth position, has not pitted. Salem Montgomery is in now, and Rodrigo Triana will be our last pit stop rotation when he comes in.
So Rodrigo lets those guys by, even though it was for position.
Well, it's nice to see. Rodrigo's going to be well and truly off the pace. He's on a different type of strategy, so might as well just stick to it, and that's the better play there.
So White picked up a couple seconds on Andre. The lead is now 6.5.
Boy, I wish I could see those lap-to-lap times. I'm just wondering if Alex White isn't putting the hammer down a little bit, and once he got whiff of Andre, suddenly jumping into that spot.
This is amazing. So, back to where we started here. It's like a broken record. So, Kevin Savoy gets by Marty, and Marty returns the favor down the back straight. So, what's going to happen if these guys remain tight through the remainder of the second stint? Do you suspect Kevin to start trying to block him down the back straight there? Or I don't think there's any answer for the pace.
No, it could just be a case of last man standing.
And there goes Kevin.
There he goes.
Kevin looks like he's... Marty!
Oh!
Marty! Kevin forces him into a spin. No contact there, but Kevin definitely had the position on the outside, so that's going to help Kevin for sure.
Yeah, the epic fight, of course, has allowed David Poole to hang right with those guys, so Marty's going to have to regather that concentration and try it again.
What a great battle between those two. Oh, further back, Dave Rowley now running in P8, so that's great for their team championship hopes. Rowley definitely needing to have a good finish here tonight to help that cause. John Houston also running well for T-Brock Dam Bam up into P9. Jaime Moore running 10th. I don't believe Jaime has pitted. Rich Roman has gotten past Caldani. I'll have to keep an eye on this battle here as it's looking pretty intense. Roman in the Sunred looking to make the move. It looks like he's going to do it. Caldani actually with the speed on that other Porsche. Wow, Caldani looking pretty quick down that straight. They both managed to get by.
It's been a great race for Jesse. It's great to see. He's just done a great job keeping it on track, hitting consistent lines. Great run, Jesse.
So I think once Triana pits, Rodrigo pits, Jesse should move up to that 10th spot. So.
Indeed, and in the meantime, Aaron Parsons is starting to put pressure on Andres Prieto for that second spot.
Oh, wow, you gotta give Jesse a lot of credit here. He's going up against the GT1 champion Rich Roman, giving Rich all he can handle at the moment. Really keeping it tidy, and he's gonna have a look on the outside going to the final corner. But wow, I'm very impressed by Jesse tonight.
Yeah, indeed. You know, it's hopefully he'll be able to keep his patience here and finish these things off. That's what can be tough sometimes for these guys. Not always used to running in these top tens, these big points paying positions. Is really kind of keeping the mental faculties nice and calm and making sure you still hit those lines all the way through.
Really nice slide through there. You know, the thing that's impressing me the most is that not only his performance here tonight, but how he's driving, you know, when he's alongside other guys, especially here with Roman. We've seen a couple instances where he's been next to Roman and, you know, really keeping his lines tight.
Yeah, and you know, we've seen a bit.
Not seeing any contact.
The other, so you're right. Very refreshing. Meanwhile, Aaron Parsons and Andres Prieto are really in a dogfight here. They've run door to door here through several corners.
So, Caldani is a good example of how not to plow into people.
Kevin Savoy And Marty Wren were continuing to go at it. I saw those positions swap for a second, but now Marty's off his bumper. Don't know. Rodrigo trying into the pit. Triana, excuse me.
Andre using all of that inside curb. Well, we'll have to see how Aaron matches up with Andres now down this back straight. We approach it now. If Aaron can hang on to him, it's not happening. That Ford is just motoring away as Andre's going to get a tow from that Beamer up ahead.
Yeah, the Lambo certainly no slouch at all in terms of straight line speed. The Ford will have an edge, and it sure is showing it. So I think Andres might have that car pretty trimmed out.
Well, if he does, it's it's really not showing the way it's getting through some of these corners. I mean, you saw Savoie was. I mean, it looks like Savoie's car is pretty trimmed out, that BMW, but he's really having some struggles putting that power down. As a Beamer, well, there's nearly a moment there.
Well, I'll say this: I've had the opportunity to run with Andres for quite a while now, Al, and he does not mind a loose race car. He has exceptional car control, and I think it's showing. It's only a matter of time here before Aaron picks him off, but he's got a decent gap back to Kevin Savoie in that fourth spot, so I think he's got a good shot to hold on to a podium here. Looking through my timing and scoring here, Al, at least the positions anyway. I see Mike Graytrex there in the points in 16th. That's good to see. Lidke has slipped back there to 23rd.
Aaron may have a run on Andre. No! He gets close, but just not close enough to really pull him down the straight. Well, maybe. He's starting to close up a little bit here.
As soon as he pulls that nose out into the air, it just stops dead.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. He's nope, not better of it. It's just gonna have
They'll
to be
get him through the twisty.
Exactly, or a late.
I think he will.
Parsons swinging way out wide. You know, we've seen that outside line be effective here tonight in that last corner. We saw Savoie make a move on Marty, even though Marty ended up looping it, but we saw a couple other guys make a move there tonight.
You know, almost all these corners have varying lines. I didn't mention it, probably should have. A lot of these corners have varying lines that you could take on entry or exit, depending on your setup and just kind of what you prefer. You can use the curves, as we see Andres doing precipitously. I don't know that it's the fastest way around, but
well, it seems like it is for him, because he's been using that line the whole night, so using all of that curve.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, yeah, if you're comfortable with it and you can set the car up for it, then that's great. Different ways to skin a cat around here, for sure.
Parsons got to be pulling his hair out. This is just, at the moment, no way past.
Oh, Kevin Savoie into the pits, Al. That might be for cut track.
Oh, looks like it. Looks like it might have been a stop and go. Or a drive-through, one of the two.
Yeah, it's a possibility around here. Yep.
So Kevin's going to drop back to, looks like 13th at the moment, and 14th now as Johnston gets past. So Kevin getting a little He could have made a mistake and cut the curb, which can happen here if you do make a mistake. We see it a lot of times at Monza, where you blow the chicane or slide. Someone hits you, it makes contact, and you slide through the part of the chicane at speed.
Get the instant black flag. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. If you check the individual lap times, you'll see if there's 3 non-timed laps. I can't do it because I can't see them, but if you get a chance, you might want to take a look.
So Kevin alongside Johnston, and looks like he's going to make the move. Let's buy him with ease.
Yeah, well, tough break there for Kevin. Tough break. He's just having such a great race, a great battle there with Marty Urin. So unfortunately, it's too bad it came undone like that.
Parsons looks like he's going to make the move on Andre. As side by side heading into the back straight, but
oh no!
Yes, Andre may have the advantage.
Well, here we go. They're both in clean air. That Ford is just smoking.
Parsons with a look on the inside. Nope.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron's thinking to himself, okay, now where can I force the issue, and I have to do it well and truly soon before the straight, or else he's going to get a run on me and make the pass. So Aaron's got to pick out a couple corners well before that straight where he can.
Oh yeah, Parsons been taking that line all night, swinging out wide. But working lap 26.
I think it takes some evasive action.
Sorry, working lap 26. This race is quickly winding down. Meanwhile, Alex White out front by a healthy margin now. Ooh, as Parsons. If he's going to make the move, he's got to do it very soon.
Looks like Jaime Moore also had to come into the pits, likely to serve a stop and go.
Here we go again. Seems like right when Andre hits this part of the track, the bump here, he's gone. What?
Yeah, there could be something to that.
Yeah, I think it looks like Parsons may be bottoming out a little too much, and that's slowing him down a little bit.
Yeah, Aaron is running out of laps, that's for sure. Yeah, surprisingly, for all this fighting, I've been kind of looking at the gaps here. Marty Urin has not picked up much time on this battle. Marty Urin, of course, running in that 4th spot. Really has only picked up a couple seconds here over the course of this stint.
Final corner, back onto the main straight.
You know, it should be mentioned as well as we watch this great battle that there will be an individual cut review aside from what the game itself penalizes. So, 4 cuts on any particular corner, and these guys are going to get docked time in the final result.
Yeah, that's a good point, Brad. All results are unofficial pending the review. So, all 4 wheels inside a curb will denote will lead to a cut. So, it's 10%. 10% limit, and once you go over, you get docked a lap. Could this be the move? Nope. One thing you're not going to see is Parsons throw it in there at the end of that corner. Having a look on the inside, but
you know, and I would think that would be his best bet, is to stay close enough and take a little bit of a risk into there. The Lambo is going to outperform the Ford GT through that very fast right-hand sweeper at the end of that straight, but just can't quite get that nose in there.
currently working lap 28. Let's take a quick look at the standings right now. Chris Moses, current point leader, back in 25th, a lap down. So Moses' shot at scoring some points here tonight is going quickly by the wayside. Tough break for him.
Yeah, that's a bad feeling, knowing that you're more or less out of it there on the first lap. So, yeah, tough break for Chris. He'll bounce back next week, no question. You know, I don't know what to make of it, Al. Maybe it's nothing I don't know, but Alex White has been giving up a little bit of time here in the last three laps to Andres and Aaron, despite that epic, titanic battle those guys have been having. So,
I did notice that as well.
Curious.
I think he realizes the race is winding down and maybe laying up a little bit. Is he gonna have a look?
Yeah, he was complaining about.
Nope.
Yeah, again, Alex was complaining a little bit about having some motor problems there in practice, so hopefully those don't crop up too badly for him here.
Ooh, Andre runs a little wide and gives it up. Oh, big mistake by Andre, and he gives up that position, but I'll tell you what, Andre's going to hang in close to Parsons, and, you know, if he stays tight with him, he could take that position right back.
I can tell you that's what Aaron's worried about. He's going to want to try to lay down these corners just perfect here. Now, Andres is not letting him get too far away.
Absolutely not. This is a good big part of the track for that Ford as well.
Boy, he's going to have to keep it close. Real tough sections for the Ford coming up here. He's got to survive 4 more corners, keep it within a second.
Really using all of that curve.
Really challenging those curves.
Yeah, and it looks like he's going to make the move here. This is, sweet.
Yeah, he might be close enough, yep.
Aaron got through there very cleanly, very nice, but...
Yeah, he got great traction coming out of the corner before the hard acceleration zone. It might have been enough for him.
Here he comes! Oh, Aaron's going to hang on to it. Wow.
He is breathing a sigh of relief. I think he's got Andres now. I think he's good to go now. He's whew.
Wow. Up front. Alex White. As we near the end of this race. Well, you know what? You got to tip your cap to Andre. He put up a great fight. I mean, the race isn't over yet, but Alex White's about to take the victory here at Paul Ricard. And a great performance by Alex, dominating. Parsons going to hang on. That little mistake by Andre costing him that second position, but still a great finish for Andre, finishing third. Marty Uren is going to take fourth. David Poole, not far behind, is going to take fifth. Another great, consistent finish by David Poole. Rally, as I believe that's Ivy taking the car off track. David Rowley, I believe he's going to be scoring his first points of the season. Going to take 6th. He's really happy, as we saw a Mustang go off there. John Houston, Caldani all over the back of him, but Houston's going to hang on to that 7th spot. And Caldani's going to take 8th. Simon Goodwin's going to take 9th. Rich Roman should finish here in 10th. Savoy and Solberger battling out here at the wire. And Savoy, not enough. Solberger's going to hang on to that 11th spot. Solberger 12th. Johnson finishes 13th. Montgomery, he should be finishing in the points. As Rodrigo really pushing the limits there, trying to make a move on Montgomery. Montgomery breathing a sigh of relief here. He's going to hang on to that 14th spot. Rodrigo will take 15th. And Greg Myers. Didn't talk too much about Greg here tonight, but looks like Greg's going to take that final points paying position here at 16th. Greg really taking his time there. But I'll tell you what, amazing victory. See if we can have a word with Alex. Alex, do you copy?
Yes,
hey,
I do.
you're on the broadcast. Tremendous race here tonight. Fabulous finish. Taking another win here tonight in GT2. An unbelievable pole lap you had with a 47 flat. How was the car? Were you nervous at all there at the end? Did you have any motor trouble?
No, I didn't. Greg actually asked me to not lap him, so he still had a chance of the prize for guessing the most laps. So I didn't lap him, and I just took it easy after the pit stop. My pole lap was phenomenal, actually. It was easily the best lap I've done this season.
Go ahead, Brett.
Yeah, well, nice win there, Alex. Congratulations on that. You know, it was looking like you had some of the best speed of the field there in the week of practice. So sometimes when you have that extra pressure on you, knowing you've got the pace to get the job done, it can be a little bothersome sometimes mentally. Did you have any of that going on, or were you pretty cool in the car tonight?
That suggests that I was pretty cool, bearing in mind I never practiced with softs or low fuel, and still had the track record at the end of the week. So I knew I still had another second or so for qualifying, and in the race I really didn't have to push at all, which was quite nice.
Were you a little nervous there when you saw Andre come out a few seconds behind you?
No, because I knew that I still had pace in hand, and I sound so ridiculously cocky saying that, I'm sorry.
There's nothing wrong with a little bit of confidence there, Alex. But I'll tell you what, great job, and definitely with Chris Moses' trouble, we're going to jump back into the lead of the championship, and well, we'll look forward to our next race.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for doing the broadcast as well. I do watch them. They are great fun.
Well,
and I've got 50 kilos next race.
Yeah, speaking of the next race, how do you feel heading into Road Atlanta?
I have no chance. I have 50 kilograms. Last time I had 50 kilograms, I qualified sixth and had a fairly terrible race. So hopefully I'll do a bit better this time. But I do like Road Atlanta. But I don't think the car will go well there. There's too many corners.
Well, good luck next week at Road Atlanta, and I will definitely be keeping an eye on you to see how you end up. So again, great job, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So wow, Brad, you know what? I'd like to see if he's on here. I'd like to talk to Andre real quick, see if he'll talk to us. Andre, do you copy?
Yeah.
Hi, Andre. On the broadcast here on AGP TV. Just want to congratulate you on a great finish there. You did a great job holding off Aaron, but that little mistake there at the end let Aaron by. But tremendous pace, Andre. Great job.
Thank you. Yeah, well, my tires were completely done by then, and understeer just got me there, and the car slid away, and I knew as I was right by my side, so it was on the moment I braked for that corner, I knew he was gonna overtake me there.
Well, it was a great run considering your unfortunate disconnect there in qualifying, Andres. How did you come to this decision quickly to double stint those tires, or was it spur of the moment, or is that something you'd planned on when you knew you had to start back in the field?
I planned it. Actually, I had two strategies. One with a little bit more downforce, but yeah, as I disconnected, I went with absolutely no downforce and decided to double stint my tires when I hit lap 15, and you know, pace wasn't so bad, wasn't dropping so bad, and I saw nobody else did it, and so I gambled it. Hopefully, you know, it will work for the championship. I'm not that far behind.
No, definitely a ballsy move there to double stint. Definitely the right call for you. So again, tremendous job, Andre. We commend you, and look forward to next week at Road Atlanta.
Yep. Hopefully, Alex got a lot of weight, so maybe we can, you know, stole some points out of him.
Well, we'll be keeping an eye on you as well. So congratulations again, Andre, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Well, there you have it, Brad. A little bit of a disappointing start there, seeing all those incidents at the beginning there. But once that all cleared up, it turned into a pretty entertaining race, to say the least.
Yeah, we had some great racing out there. Absolutely. You know, the thing that kind of sticks in my mind from this event is Chris Moses here really taking a hit in this points championship. Boy, he's going to be passed by a lot of drivers out there for that overall title shot here. So it's going to be some recovery by Chris Moses. The battles we saw with Kevin Savoy, Marty Urin, of course, Andres Prieto, and Aaron Parsons there at the end was epic stuff. And look forward to more of it next week there at Road Atlanta. Great track.
Absolutely, and once again, thanks everybody who tuned in, and we'll see you all next week from Road Atlanta. Hopefully you can join us then. Until then, for Brad and myself, take care, have a good one.